today I'll be showing you guys how to make mac and Cheetos. Let's go over all the ingredients and materials that you guys will need. You will need flour, a medium bowl, a gallon-sized Ziploc bag, meat tenderizer, 2 different flavors of Cheetos, ground pepper, measuring cups, table cream, salt, butter, heavy whipping cream, a pound of elbow macaroni, Asiago cheese, Romano cheese, and mild cheddar cheese, 2 eggs, a small bowl, milk, oil, 2 pots, a wooden spoon, tongs, a whisk, and a strainer. And you also will need water. First thing you want to do is add water to your pot, and after you have filled it up with water, you're going to want to bring it to your stove to season it up with some salt. Roughly around 2 teaspoons so your noodles won't be bland, and then you're going to put the lid on and turn it on to medium-high heat. Doing this will help it boil faster. While you wait for that to boil, you can start on your Cheetos. So I grabbed both bags of my Cheetos and I was struggling to open them. But grab your Ziploc bag and you're going to want to dump your Cheetos into the Ziploc bag. I used roughly a cup, and I decided to use Cheeto Puffs and the cheddar jalapeno Cheetos because I also wanted the crunch. Just dump it in. You can add more a little if you want. And then you're going to clean up after yourselves now. And then close up the Ziploc bag, make sure it's tight. You're going to smush them up into crumbs. You could use a food processor, but I was lazy for cleanup. Once they're into crumbs, now you're going to want to dump them into a bowl. Once your water has reached a rolling boil, add your elbow macaroni. A little trick my mom taught me to see if your noodles were done is to grab the noodle and throw it on your cabinet, and it should stick like you see here. Once your macaroni is done cooking, you're going to want to turn off your stove and drain out your macaroni using the strainer. Now it's time to make your cheese sauce. Now you're going to grab your butter, take it over to your stove, and she ends up dropping it. But it's okay because all you have to do is just wash the dust off because you don't want to get any salmonella poisoning. Once your butter is into your pot, you're going to want to keep adding chunks of butter. You need at least 6 tablespoons. Doing this will help it melt faster, and you should melt it over medium heat. Once your butter has melted, you're going to add your flour, and you will need 6 tablespoons of flour. Once you've added your flour, you're going to want to cook it for at least 2 to 3 minutes until it has become a paste. Yes, look at the flick of that wrist. Once it has become a paste, you're going to add your milk, and you will need 3 cups of milk in total. What I did was I added 2 cups of milk first, and then I made sure that paste was dissolved in the milk, and then I added the last cup of milk. Keep whisking it for about 5 more minutes until it becomes thick and it starts to boil like you see here. And then you're going to grab your heavy whipping cream and add it to the pot. I was struggling to open my heavy whipping cream, but then I end up realizing that I opened it on the wrong side. And so you will need about 1 cup of the heavy whipping cream and then add it to your pot. Once you have mixed in your heavy cream, you're going to add your salt and pepper. You will need at least a teaspoon of each. I just decided to eyeball both of them. Once you have whisked everything all together, now it's time to add all the cheeses. So you will need 4 ounces of Romano cheese, 4 ounces of Asiago cheese, and half a pound of mild cheddar cheese. Now you're going to want to cook this until your cheese has fully melted. Now that your cheese has fully melted, now you're going to want to add your macaroni. So you want to get your cooled macaroni from your strainer and add it all in. Now you will mix everything all together and make sure that every single macaroni is covered with that cheesy mixture. Now you're going to want to set it aside to cool. While you wait for that to cool, heat up your oil, and I turned on my stove to a medium-low heat, and then I added my canola oil 1/4 of a way up. And then while I wait for that to heat up, I decided to work on my egg wash, and so I used 2 eggs and then I whisked it together. Now you can add your table cream. You need roughly around 2 tablespoons, but I just eyeballed it this time. You don't really need to be that precise in making your egg wash. Now it's time to make your mac and Cheetos. I decided to move my mac and cheese into a smaller bowl, but I just grabbed a knob of mac and cheese and I rolled it into the flour. Once it is coated in that flour, you want to dip it into the egg wash and coat that, and then bring it into your Cheetos mixture. This is basically like your panko as if you were to make chicken. So you want to roll that in and make sure it is coated all evenly, and then place it on a plate. And you want to keep doing this until all your mac and cheese is gone. Now it's time to cook it. So I cooked it in batches, like 2 to 3 in each batch, and it roughly took around 2 to 5 minutes for each batch to cook, and it should be golden brown when it's finished. And when you're done, it should look like this, and I always eat mine with honey mustard, ketchup, and sriracha.